The Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo's least successful home console. Although it wasn't their least successful product, as stuff like the Virtual Boy and the N64 disk drive take that honor, it's pretty obvious sales-wise, as good as the console was, as good as the games were, it's pretty obvious that the Wii U was a flop commercially, especially compared to the competition at the time, the PS4 and the Xbox One, and especially compared to its predecessor, the Nintendo Wii. Heck, Nintendo's handheld that generation, the Nintendo 3DS, was doing much better. And some of the Wii U games, such as Hyrule Warriors, Super Mario Maker, and Yoshi's Woolly World, were ported to the 3DS, and if they weren't ported, they had alternatives, the most notable examples being Mario Kart 3D Land and Legend of Zelda remakes. However, the Wii U didn't have to be a failure. It could have been a success. If Nintendo made right moves instead of the wrong moves that they made, for all we know, the Wii U could have done better than the original Wii. And that's what we're going to be going over this video. In this video, we're going to be saving the Nintendo Wii U. And this is something I've been wanting to do for a while now, where we go back to consoles that have failed, fixing it to where the consoles can be a huge success. And this will be the first video in this series. So make sure you guys go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you guys think would happen if the Wii U was a success. And without further ado, let's go ahead and save Nintendo's 8th generation console. In order to make the Wii U a success in the first place, we need to go over why it failed, which I have 5 reasons why it failed. With the first one being the name, the Wii U. That doesn't really scream next generation system to me, and many other people felt that way as well. In fact, originally, people thought this was an accessory you buy for the Wii, similar to the Wii Zapper and the Wii WIIU. In fact, during Nintendo's E3 2011 presentation, when they were first showing off the Wii U to the public, they never showed off the console. All they showed off was the Gamepad, but they also were using Wii remotes, which led many people to believe that yes, this was an add-on or an accessory that you buy for the Wii, and games would still be releasing on it. When in actuality, the Wii U is an entirely new different system, which just goes to show the problems with the Wii U from the very beginning. The name's confusing, and the Gamepad doesn't help, which leads me to my next reason on why the Wii U failed, the Gamepad. The Wii U Gamepad is not a bad controller. It may not be the best controller, but overall, it's not that bad compared to other controllers out there. However, it did not help the Wii U at all, and only hurt it more, considering the fact that during marketing, Nintendo only ever showed off the Gamepad, and that's it. And the fact this was the main focus of the console, it ain't a make it or break it deal like with the Wii Remote and the motion controls. Besides, most concepts you can do with dual screens had already been done with the DS and 3DS at this point. So overall, it didn't really help things. And like I said, going back to Nintendo's E3 2011 press conference, when they were first showing off the system, again, all they focused on was the Gamepad and were using Wii remotes. Plus, with the console being off on the corner of the TV and already looking very similar to the Wii, it suddenly becomes way more obvious why people thought, oh, this is just an accessory you buy for the Wii, a console that has a billion other accessories you buy for it as well. Besides, gameplay-wise, the Wii U Gamepad doesn't really add anything beneficial outside of Mario Maker, and games that were forced to have it, such as Star Fox Zero, suffered heavily because of it. Plus, there's some games where you can barely do a thing with it. Look at New Super Mario Bros. U. All you really do with it is just add shapes. That's really it. So overall, yeah, the Wii U Gamepad did not help things at all. And speaking of marketing, now let's move on to the third reason why the Wii U failed. The commercials. I'm not gonna lie with you guys, rewatching these commercials for this video was painful, as these commercials are so bad and appeal to basically kids, and that's it. As watching these commercials, do they really want to make you buy a Wii U?
So, you want a Wii U this holiday?
We'll watch and learn. Here's Mom. We already have a Wii, Sweetiekins.
Here's you. Wii U is a total upgrade, Mother. Did you get younger? It has Super Mario 3D World, Legend of Zelda The Wind Waker HD, and Rayman Legends.
Yeah.
And it comes with 2 free games.
Hot buttered popcorn, that's a deal.
Yeah. The games we love to play are on Wii U this holiday. Games rated E to E10+. And that's how it's done.
No, they don't. And the fact that Nintendo wanted to win back the hardcore with this console while also bringing the casual audience back blows my mind. Because Nintendo, you thought these commercials would convince both the hardcore and the casuals to buy a Wii U? No, they don't. I don't care if you got Batman Arkham City and Call of Duty on your system. If your commercials are this bad, that gives me no reason to buy a Wii U, considering the fact that all it would do is more than likely embarrass the person who bought the Wii U in the first place. But also, speaking of those third-party games, now we need to move on to the fourth reason why the Wii U failed. Majority of the games on the system were either on previous platforms or had variations on 3DS. Now, to be fair, not every Wii U game got an alternative on 3DS, such as Captain Toad, Super Mario Maker, Hyrule Warriors, and Yoshi's Woolly World. But the reason why these 3 games didn't get an alternative on 3DS? It's simple. They were ported to 3DS instead. So majority of the time, if the game didn't have an alternative title on 3DS, then it was outright ported to the system, even if the port was bad. And although the Wii U did have some incredible games such as Super Mario 3D World, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, and The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess and Wind Waker remakes, you could get alternatives on 3DS, which were arguably better in some ways. Heck, even bad Wii U games such as Star Fox Zero and Mario Tennis Ultra Smash had alternatives on 3DS that were much better. And to make matters worse for the Wii U, if games on the system didn't have an alternative on 3DS or weren't outright ported to the system, they either A, got a sequel on Switch, B, were ported to Switch, or C, ported to other consoles. And the third-party support for the Wii U. While it wasn't bad, in fact it was actually pretty good at launch and in the first year, things overall were terrible, as after 2013, the only notable third-party games that the Wii U really got was Skylanders and Just Dance. Sure, every once in a while I got a big third-party game such as Watch Dogs, but overall, the third-party support long-term was not great. But with that out of the way, let's move on to the final reason why the Wii U failed. The 1-year drought. The Wii U ended up releasing in November of 2012, and shortly after its release, we barely got anything for the following few months. All we really got till August, which is when Pikmin 3 was released in the US, was Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, Game & Wario, and LEGO City Undercover. That's it. Which should say everything, since it's pretty obvious the Wii U was definitely not ready to release in 2012, and was a bad idea, and it backfired hard. Especially considering the fact that, more than likely, Nintendo was planning on the third parties picking up the slack. However, what ended up happening was that the third parties did not pick up the slack, and instead abandoned the Wii U once they realized it was a sinking ship. And as if things weren't bad enough for the Wii U, around the same time when it was barely getting a thing, the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360 were still getting a ton of major games for them. Alongside this, just to add salt into the wound, the 3DS around the same time was also getting a ton of major games for it. And to add even more salt into the wound, Nintendo held a Nintendo Direct in February to announce a couple of 3DS and Wii U games. A week later, Sony announced the PlayStation 4. So yeah, releasing the Wii U in 2012 was a huge mistake, since it clearly was not ready for launch. But now with all those reasons out of the way, we can now go ahead and make the changes necessary to make the Wii U a success. Now, in order to make the Wii U a success, let's go ahead and get some of the obvious things out of the way. 1. We're changing the name to Wii 2. This way we can't confuse consumers with this. It makes it obvious that yes, this is indeed a sequel to the Wii. Number 2. The Gamepad is not going to be the main gimmick of the system. The Gamepad will be something similar to the Wii Zapper and the Wii Wheel, just an accessory you buy for the system and for a few games, such as Mario Maker for instance, since Mario Maker with the Gamepad was controlled perfectly. Now you're probably wondering, what's going to be the main gimmick of this new version of the Wii U? Simple. It's the next Wii. It has much better motion controls, much more powerful hardware, and much better graphics. Now, to be fair, there is an argument that Nintendo did do something similar with the GameCube, where they just made a more powerful system and they lost that generation. However, I'd argue that the reason they lost the 6th generation was because of the mini disc. Here, Nintendo won't have a problem like that. And thus, they'll be comfortable this entire generation and will more than likely beat the Xbox One in this alternate timeline. Now, we need to go ahead and dive into the games. More specifically, the Wii U's launch lineup. Although the launch lineup wasn't bad, majority of third-party support at launch was just old games that were on other platforms, and Nintendo published titles such as Nintendo Land and New Super Mario Bros. U, Sing Party, and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge. While not bad, they could have been better. Now, we're going to be making a few changes to the launch lineup, with the biggest one being New Super Mario Bros. U is cancelled for 2 reasons. 1, it does not show off the system's capabilities at all, and 2, we do not need this game because New Super Mario Bros. 2 is out on the 3DS. We don't need another New Super game. And the replacement I would have for New Super U would actually be delaying Super Mario Galaxy 2 to the next system, allowing it to have even more content and allowing it to look far better. Now, moving on to the other Wii U launch titles. Sing Party is also cancelled because, similar to New Super Mario Bros. U, it does not show off the new system's capabilities at all. Besides, all it did was use the Wii U microphone, which was used for 3 games, and that's it. So Sing Party is also cancelled. Now, I would still keep both Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge and Nintendo Land at the launch. However, Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge stays as an actual exclusive and doesn't get ported to other machines. Meanwhile, for Nintendo Land, rather than it being built to show off the Wii U Gamepad, it's instead built to show off the Wii 2's much more powerful motion controls and much more accurate, since they're much more accurate than Wii Motion Plus. However, I would still have 2 more games be available at the launch for the system, from Nintendo specifically, those being LEGO City Undercover and Pikmin 3. LEGO City Undercover because it offers a better variety in its launch lineup, and Pikmin 3 because similar to Nintendo Land, it can showcase the Wii 2's new, much better motion controls. As for those of you who haven't played Pikmin 1 and 2 on Wii, the motion controls there are incredible, so having much better motion controls for Pikmin 3 would be even better, and would showcase the Wii 2's better motion controls similar to Nintendo Land. Alongside this as well, third-party wise, Rayman Legends not only comes out at the Wii 2's launch, but actually stays exclusive and doesn't get ported to other machines. However, you're probably wondering, if these 3 games are available at launch, then when is the system going to release? Simple, in the summer of 2013. Now you're probably wondering, why am I having the system released in the summer of 2013 and not in late 2012? Simple, if we release it in late 2012, we still have the software drop problem. However, if we release it in the summer of 2013, the software drop problem would not happen at all, since it would only take a few weeks till we get the next big game, followed up by a huge stream of games throughout that holiday season. By delaying this system to summer of 2013, in my opinion, this helps the Wii 2 be a success long term, as although Nintendo did sell 3 million units of the Wii U throughout the holiday season of 2012, the second January 2013 hit, all Wii U sales dried up instantly. So by doing this will help the Wii 2 succeed long term, alongside this actually using their other IPs they didn't use during the Wii U era, such as Metroid, Kid Icarus, and a good Star Fox game. May I repeat, a good Star Fox game that also doesn't retell the same story we've seen time and time again. Plus, they have other IPs they could potentially make Wii 2 games about. But that's everything I would do to make the Wii U a success. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure you guys go ahead, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below what you guys would do to make the Wii U a success, and I'll see you all in the next one.